for the chapter 3, our objectives will be explain how rules are used to facilitate communication, explain the role of protocols and standards organizations in facilitating interoperability in network communications, explain how devices on a LAN access resources in a small to medium sized business network. So in chapter 3, we have 3.1 up to 3.3. So in 3.1, we have rules of communication. In 3.2, we have networks, protocols, and standards. In 3.3, we have moving data in the network. In 3.1, rules of communication, we have the human communication. So the human communication is we have the message, which is the message source, signal for transmitter, transmission medium, signal for receiver, and message for message destination. For establishing the rules, we have an identified sender and receiver, agreed upon method of communicating, a face-to-face, telephone, letter, or photograph, common language and grammar, speed and timing of delivery, confirmation of acknowledgement or requirements. For the message formatting and encapsulation, for example, we have the personal letter contains the following elements: identifier of the recipient's location, identifier of the sender's location, salutation of greetings, recipient identifier, the message content source identifier, end of message indicator. For the message size, an overview of the segmenting process. The size restrictions of frames require the source host to break a long message into individual pieces that meet both the minimum and maximum size requirements. Each segment is encapsulated in a separate frame with the address information and is sent over the network. At the receiving host, the messages and the encapsulation and put back together to be processed are interpreted. Message timing, access method, flow control, and response timeout. Next, we have 3.2, which is the network protocols and standards. Network protocols, how the message is formatted or structured, the process by which networking devices share information about pathways with other networks, how and when error systems messages are passed between devices, the setup and termination of data transfer sessions. For the protocols, interaction of protocols, the application protocols is a hypertext transfer protocol or HTTP, the transport protocol or transmission control protocol TCP, Internet protocol or IP, network access protocols, data link, and physical layers. The creation of Internet and the development of TCP or IP. The first packet switching network and predecessor to today's Internet was the Advanced Research Project Agency Network or ARPANET, which came to life in 1969 by connecting mainframe computers at 4 locations. ARPANET was funded by the U.S. Department of Defense for use by universities and research laboratories. Bolt, Beranek, and Newman, BBN, was the contractor that did much of the initial development of the ARPANET, including creating the first router known as an Interface Message Processor or IMP. In 1973, Robert Kahn and Vinton Cerf began work on TCP to develop the next generation of the ARPANET. TCP was designed to replace ARPANET's current network control program. We have the standards organizations, the open standards. In the open standards, we have the Internet Society or ISOC, the Internet Architecture Board or IAB, and the Internet Engineering Task Force, IETF, Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, IEEE, the International Organization of Standards or ISO. For the standard organizations, for the other standards organization, we have the Electronic Industries Alliance, EIA, the Telecommunications Industry Association, the International Telecommunications Union, the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, and the Internet Assigned Numbers Authority. The TCP or IP reference model. For the application, it represents data to the user plus encoding and dialogue control. For the transport, we have supports communication between diverse devices across diverse networks. The Internet determines the best path through the network. Network access means controls the hardware, devices, and media that make up the network. Moving the data in the network, it is the 3.3 for chapter 3. Communicating the messages, segmenting message benefits. Different conversations can be inter-revealed. Increased reliability of networks communications. Segmenting message disadvantage, increased level of complexity. So it means that it is complex. Protocol data units or PDUs. We have data, segment, packet, frame, and bits. Again, data, segment, packet, frame, and bits. For accessing local resources, network addresses and data link addresses. For the physical, we have the timing and synchronization bits. For the data link, we have destination and source physical addresses. For the network, we have destination and source logical network addresses. For the transport, we have destination and source processes, numbers, or ports. For the upper layers, we have encoded application data. So, data networks are systems of end devices, intermediary devices, and the media connecting the devices. For communication to occur, these devices must know how to communicate. These devices must comply with communication rules and protocols. TCP/IP is an example of protocol suite. Most protocols are created by a standards organization such as the IETF or IEEE. The most widely used networking models are the OSI and TCP or IP models. The data that passes down the stack of the OSI model is segmented into pieces and encapsulated with the addresses and other labels. The process is reversed as the pieces are de-encapsulated and passed up by the destination protocol stack. In this chapter, you learned also the OSI model describes the process of encoding, formatting, segmenting, and encapsulating data or for transmission over the network. The TCP or IP protocol suite is an open standard protocol that has been endorsed by the networking industry and ratified or approved by a standards organization. The Internet Protocol Suite is a suite of protocols required for transmitting and receiving information using the Internet. Protocol data units, or the PDUs, allows individuals, companies, and trades associations to analyze current networks and plan the networks of the future.